Hey, and welcome back to another Catch Up with Kiralee. If you're new here, hi, I'm Kiralee, and on this channel we talk about all things cosplay, costuming and sewing related. And today it is time for a cleanup because I have had a bit of a hiatus. I haven't really sewn anything since, I don't know, maybe February, maybe March, like when I finished Shizuku-tan. And I went to America and I did a whole lot of like workshops and panels and presentations about cosplay, and I wrote a book, and basically I just was very burnt out with cosplay, so I took that break and did all these other things. But the thing is that I also didn't put anything away. So my two sewing spaces are completely like in shambles. This one is the lesser of two evils, so this is what we're starting with. This is my main sewing area, and I cleaned a little bit yesterday for my friend who came over because she needed to use my sewing machine, and there was no space on the bench, so I had to make space. But I thought I'd start with this space first. I'll show you what I'm working with before I start, and then hopefully later this afternoon or at some point I'm then going to move to the back room, which is where I store all my costumes and all my fabrics, and that I can hardly move in. So come with me as I clean up my space so that I can start cosplaying again. So this is the main space as in its current state, and as you can see, it's just all kind of been thrown together. So these two boxes actually need to go back into the garage, I believe, but I may put them in the spare room for now. These are my workshop sewing machines. I also have some vests for when I did Oz Comic Con, and then I've got patterns that I need to actually do an unboxing video because Backroom Finds gave me them, so that was very sweet of Stephanie, but I still need to record that. And then I've got this, which I need to sort out. It's a whole lot of stuff that's just been a dumping ground. And then on my table, I've got a whole lot of costumes. I think that there's at least 4, if not 5 costumes in this pile, along with other stuff that I bought in America that I've not yet put away. My little storage unit is real messy. I'd like to clean that up as well. My wig case is still there. I need to put that away. Extra rolls of fabric from Marin still kind of sitting there. It's a lacy. Yeah, hey baby. Then I've got my 2 mannequins. I'll leave this one out. I've got to put Terry's away. And then I also need to clean up this space as well a little bit, just a little bit, and put these stuff away as well. So yeah, more costumes there. And look, my battery's dying, so I need to charge that. So I'm gonna start and then I'll clue you guys in. All right, so it's been about an hour or so since that update. My camera has a little bit more juice, but it still needs a bit more, but that's okay. I'll show you where we're up to on this particular room. Already I feel so much better. So this is the room now. So I've managed to get rid of the big cluttery bits, and I've put away Terry's mannequin. So the things that still need to be done in this room is I need to kind of make this look a little bit nicer and neater and put things that shouldn't be here away. I need to make my tray a little bit more tidy, and I need to sort out still this. So I think I'm going to do this first, because literally as you walk in from our front door, which is directly behind me, this is what you see like straight away. So I need to kind of fix this up, make it a little bit prettier. But yes, it's going good. Like look, I have a workspace again. Oh, yeah, the back room looks absolutely terrible though. It's empty. Now I am going to put stuff back on here. However, before I do that, this is everything that was on top of there. I need to sort it out, find new homes for different things here. There is some rubbish that I need to throw away. Like I had this like stripping like cut out for a project that I think I started 3 years ago and I never did, and it was at the bottom of the pile. So I need to throw all that out. I found my Yaya Hun corset pattern that I used for Jane. I had no idea where that went. It was behind the board. Shows you how long it's been since I cleaned this area. Ta-da! So that is now clean. The only thing I actually ended up keeping there is my draft of my book and the 3 books that I used to reference a whole lot of stuff that is in my book. So yay! I can actually reach my corkboard and my whiteboard. I may actually be able to use it for something for my next cosplay. That's super exciting. It was bought with that intention, and I have never used it as such because I could never reach it. So I think I'm gonna stop, have some lunch, and then I think I'll work that out next, and then finally this. I don't think I'm gonna get to the other room today, but if I can get this room like organized, I will feel so much better. All right, so I've had lunch, so now the next thing I need to do is sort out this trolley and just kind of make it a little bit easier to work with. I've already put some of the stuff on the table. There's some top stuff that's in this trolley, and I'm just like, oh my goodness me, why? So yeah, I'm gonna go through and sort it all out. It's just like an onion, and I'm just peeling back the layers, and there's just so many more layers to go. I'm only getting this room done today. Yeah. The organization kind of set of shelves on wheels is now back to being organized, or at least organized enough that I can use it. So that's good. So on to the final part, which is these shelves. Yes, once I get these organized, I think that I will call it a day and do all the other stuff that I need to do, because tomorrow is going to be Supernova and I have to get ready for that. It's clean! Yay! So let me show you what I've done today. So I started this at about 10. It is now 3:30 and had about an hour for lunch. So a couple of hours later, took longer than I expected, but it feels so good to have my main working space back organized and clean. Like, I feel like I can, you know, get excited for my next project. But let me show you the space now. So here we have the chest of drawers with all of my trims in it and bits and bobs, and an actual whiteboard and the cork board, which I'm very excited about. And you can actually see all of my Jigglypuff pins. It's a collection. Whenever I see a new Jigglypuff pin, I buy it because I love Jigglypuff. And obviously my other ones that I like. So I've got my 6 ones here because I'm obsessed. And then I've got Toph, and I've got a whole lot of Suyu. And yes, I love it. Anyway, those are for friends, so I've just left them up there for now. A clean working space. Good times, my calico in the corner, that's where it lives for all my mock-ups. And then my very, well, somewhat organized shelving, but it's actually organized now, which I'm happy about. And then my mannequin, but she's not in the corner. That actually makes me a little upset. I'm gonna put her in the corner so that it looks nice. And then finally, the last bit that I didn't actually do the top, but oh well, such is life. But I have organized all the cubbies. I actually emptied out all of that was full of fabric, and so I've put that away. And then that is a project that may or may not happen. That is my next main build, but that may be free for a build that will come very shortly because the concept is very exciting. Anyway, and then the bottom is just stuff. Don't worry about it. That's just like scrap paper, bits of my machine, and overlocker thread. My overlocker is currently being used by a friend of mine, so that's all cool. And I got a new ironing board, but little trick, I took my old ironing board like backing and I put it underneath this so it's extra squishy, because that's what you need. Alright, so with this room now done, I'm very, very happy. I think that's all I'm going to do for today. I'm not going to start on the other room because that looks like a hot mess and I am not there. Let me just enjoy this moment. But I will get to that one in the next couple of days and I'll see you then. Good morning. So it is now a couple of months and a project and a bit later, and I still haven't cleaned the back room, and this room, my main sewing area, is now looking a little bit like a trash site again. So it's time to continue with the cleanup. It's not as bad in this room as what it was last time, but it's still pretty bad. And the back room is terrible, like to the point where I can't find cosplays. I know they're in that room, but I can't find them. They're not hanging up, they're not on the floor, like I don't know where they are. So firstly, I'm going to clean up this room and then I'm going to move to the back room because I need to find certain cosplays for next weekend because there's a convention coming up that I need cosplays for. So I got to do the cleaning. All right, let's show you this room first. So here is my main sewing area. The caddy is not too bad. I just need to kind of reorganize the top a little bit, but the desk is absolutely covered with stuff. And that chest of drawers that I spent so long trying to like get it empty, it now has stuff completely on top of it again. And there is a cosplay in that bag over there that I need to hang up. And then over here, the caddies aren't actually looking too bad. It's just that one I need to clean out a little bit because I've got some little bits and pieces from the Mimsy project sitting there. This is nifty, that's all fine, I think. But I need to go through these two because I think I've chucked some stuff on top of here that is not meant to be there. So I need to go through very quickly and take out what I've put in there that I need to put away. So that's what I'm starting with. Let's go. It's now about an hour later and this room is clean, or it's, you know, it's workable. So I've put Mimsy back onto the dress form because I need to do some touch-ups on her before we go to the next convention. Some beads fell off on the bodice, and I think only one bead, but like I want to reinforce those that are around. And the skirt needs to be detangled, and I need to figure out how much of the beads I'm going to take off, if I'm going to take them off, or you know, if I'm going to take like half off, or if I'm going to take them all off. I still haven't figured that part out yet, so I'm going to put that on hold. I'm going to figure that out someday. That is not today. But the caddy is now reorganized, even though it still looks like a little bit of a mess. It is organized in my head. I got rid of the rolls that were sitting there that were for a different project that I've used, so they're away. The table is back being clear. My cabinets now have free space again, so I can see all of my wonderful pins. Look at all my Jigglypuff pins. They bring me such joy. And then I've got my writing stuff. I still wanted to keep a little corner here for my writing stuff, so I know where it is and it's all together. But I have free space, so that as I'm working on a project, I can throw little bits and pieces up here. It's not what I should be using it for, but it's kind of makes sense considering it's going to be so close to where I normally sew, which is just over here. And the cabbie is looking cleaner, well, sort of. I emptied out that section there, and I managed to figure out which parts I need to throw away that were in here. So Nifty's there, and of Cleves is actually there. And that one there is like a project that is kind of on hold, but I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with that. But all the stuff is in that one for that one. The only thing I didn't put away that I probably should have is this, but the reason being is this is my beading, which I'm going to be using in the next couple of days to fix up Mimsy, and possibly to store all of the beads that I need to cut off if I cut them off. You can see I'm really not looking forward to that particular project, because honestly it took me like 7 hours to put all the beads on the bottom of this dress. It's fine, it's fine. I just didn't imagine that they would tangle up so much, but I'll figure it out. I'm still working though, so I'm gonna have a quick break, catch my breath, even though I'm not out of breath, but you know, have a little break, and then I will tackle the room I've been putting off for literally months. And I'll show you why. It's now the afternoon and it's time to tackle this room. Don't judge me. This is what I'm dealing with. And yes, it's been this bad before, but I can't believe I let it get this bad again so quickly. So, yeah, I need to even reorganize up the top there, because I had one big one just fall out nearly on top of me the other day, which was not fun. When things are falling on top of you, that's when you know you have to clean up. I mean, realistically, it should never have got this bad. And like, it hurts me that Toph is underneath there, and I spent so long on her. Let's get through this. So the very first thing I think I'm going to do is I'm going to clear this little section here, because this is a big item that I know needs to be towards this corner, but it can't get there at the moment because of everything else that's on the floor. And there's some boxes here that actually belong in a different room. So I'm going to attack that first, just to give me even a square foot of extra space. I've gone ahead and I've moved those boxes into the other room, so I have a little bit more room, but realistically it doesn't feel like it. I also have this massive bag of old costumes, and this is a collection of my first costumes when I was a little tot, about 3 or 4 years old, my mother when she was about that age, and also my grandmother. So in here are 3 generations of young girls' costumes for dancing, and I just wanted to really keep these all together because my grandmother, my mother and I have this very strong connection, even though my grandmother has now passed away, and costumes and dancing were a really big part of that, and this means a lot to me to have these 3 kind of generations together, but I need to find a place to put it. So I think it's going to go up the top if I can find the space for it, because I'm not getting rid of these and I don't want to put them in the shed, but I'm going to put them outside the door for now. And I think that that's going to be my rule, is anything that needs to go up the top needs to go outside the door, just to give me a bit more space. So this massive one, which has like an elven princess and Mad Hatter in it, this also needs to go outside because this is the one that fell down on me. I literally have no idea what I'm going to do about Toph's rock prop. I don't want to get rid of it just yet, but also I'm very aware that it takes up a lot of space and I'm never going to use it again. I'll put it in a bag. come to think of it, I might swap the Tops Rock Prop for Angela's wings, which are up there at the moment. Angela's wings was the wings that I made in my first year of cosplaying for my first major competition over in Brisbane. And since that day, I've never really, I think I did a photo shoot with them the following year or something, and then I've just never used them again, and they're taking up space. So I may swap them out because newer, older, and those wings, I never want to make wings again, and I don't think that they are the most structurally sound. I think there's better ways of doing it, so I don't even think that I would be able to utilize all the work that I did in them. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna probably throw those away, to be honest. There we are. The rocks are somewhat contained. As you can see, I've cleared most of this side. I haven't done the top here yet. I want to get that done as well. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on getting everything off the floor first. And to do that, the next section will be moving everything that's on the floor still over there to over here so I can access the wardrobe. And and then I will have to tackle the wardrobe as well, because that is looking pretty shocking at the moment. I also have a chair right here that's still full of little bits and bobs, so I might actually need to do that first before I attack the closet and all the costumes and try and find hangers for everything. But yeah, I would say I'm about a third to a half of the way through. And I'm so tired. I'm sweating. Like, it's a cold day today, and yeah, I probably shouldn't be doing this when I've got a head cold as I do, but it's been bugging me and I need to get this done. I also figured out where those costumes were that I thought I'd lost. They're in a suitcase from when I went to Smash in July, and it is now October. So those costumes are still in a suitcase that's in the hallway that I will need to unpack and find hangers and put them into the wardrobe that is currently bursting. So that's fun. One thing that I did do that I've been meaning to do for a little while now, because my wig collection has grown so much. Originally I just had like natural colors and like unnatural colors, like 2 boxes, and that was fine. But just as my wig collection has continuously grown, realistically I probably should go through and cull a few of them out, because some of those wigs, I don't think there's any saving them. But I have gone ahead and I've separated the naturals into 2 different boxes. The unnaturals are now in one box. I moved what was in this box into another box with some struggle, because it was tontine and stuffing. So I just kept some tontine and I'm donating the rest because I don't really use tontine. So I've got now the unnatural colours down here, and then I've got blondes and reds here, and I've got brunettes and blacks down the bottom. So that will make it a little bit easier for me to find wigs as I need them moving forward, which is good. This is a lot of work. I knew it was going to be. Why did I have to do it when I've got a head cold? But I think what I'm going to do, because my camera battery is flashing at me, I'm going to charge up the camera. I'm going to deal with this little chair situation just so that I can get that out of here and there's a bit more space. And then when the camera is back to full charge, I will come back and I will go ahead and basically move all the costumes and stuff that are over here and also outside in the hallway back in, find coat hangers, and hopefully make space in the wardrobe. Fingers crossed. It's a bit later now. Camera is back to fully charged. Had a rest. Stopped sweating. As you can see, it's cold, right? So now I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and start from the top down. And hopefully I'm going to be strong enough without Terry's help to like get this sorted, because I feel like the Mad Hatter and that needs to be one of the ones at the bottom, which means I need to get the stuff on the top out, put that in, and then put it all in. And I also need to get the box, which is on the other side, out and try and fit the costumes in, but I don't know if that's going to happen. So gotta make it work and somehow fit the boxes, the rocks up there as well. Okay, so the good news is that the top is now sorted. So what that means is that we need to move now to the hanging space and get all the costumes that currently don't have hangers, which is 3 costumes plus also 2 that I've got on hangers here, into the wardrobe. And I need to find hangers. I don't think there's any spare in there. It's fine, it's fine. I'll sort it out, But what I do, but that's gonna be the next thing. And then it will be the hardest part, which will be on the floor. And for those who are wondering, these are my Angela wings. They've been rolled up for so long and crushed that honestly, I don't even think that I could, even if I unrolled them and steamed and everything like that, it's just not worth it. It's time to say goodbye. Found this that's left over. Don't quite know where that's meant to go, but it's okay. I think I'm going to put this in my normal wardrobe because I will probably need it, but I don't know how I'm going to fit it in here, so that can go in there, but I'll just leave it over here for now. So now all the costumes are in the closet. Yay. I don't know how much weight this bar can hold because there's a lot of weight on that bar. So now the part that I'm really not looking forward to, and that is sorting out the petticoats and the crinolines and also all of the shoes, which are the very bottom layer. I think I'm just going to pull them all out in the one go because that is going to be the easiest way, I think, and then just put them all in rather than trying sorting it at that, like inside the cupboard. It's too hard. Tried that before, did not work. So I'm going to angle this camera down and you shall enjoy this. hopefully. These shoes are the most uncomfortable shoes I have ever worn, and they're also the most expensive I have ever bought. They're Christine Daae shoes, and I bought them from American Duchess, and if they weren't perfect for the character, I would have never have bought these. Oh, they're so uncomfortable. I found the other red shoe. I was looking for you. Another American Duchess. Oh my god. I completely forgot that I had these ones. I need to wear them at some point because they're very pretty. And apparently these ones are not painful to wear. I think we've got all the shoes out. I should probably move these and pull out the petticoats. Yay! So all of the stuff that goes on the floor is now on the floor outside of the cupboard. I think I'll start with the petticoat first. If I can get the petticoat sorted, then the shoes can fit around that. Because the petticoats are in a big box and they do all fit. At least they did last time. So, alright, let's do this. I'm gonna leave this petticoat out because I'm gonna need it next weekend for when I go to PAX. I believe this is the petticoat that I wear underneath my Mario outfit. So for ease, I'm just gonna keep this one out. It's done. Alright, so if I put this away and then I can put the crinolines on top of that, or even have them behind, then I can put all the shoes away. Bottom layer is now done. Yay. So the very last part of this room that I want to tackle today is the shelving where the wigs and the patterns are kept. It is a mess, and the thing about this is that my intention with this was to have it as a space where I could use it to put things for prep or that sort of thing, and I've never used it for that. It has always been a bit of a, oh, this needs to be here, chuck. Like, something needs to be in this room, I don't want to put it on the floor, chuck. So it's time for me to figure out what I'm doing with this. So this is the shelf of chuck things. Like, I've even chucked the hats that normally live over there up here while I was sorting out the cupboard. It's kind of my go-to. So yeah, this is what I need to sort now. Now I will also say that I'm not doing anything to my fabric wall because mostly it's fine, she says, while tucking in some silk. But no, the fabric wall is actually pretty okay at the moment. Now I'm looking at it, I'm just like, ugh, why is that hanging out like that? But overall, it's actually not too bad. Stop touching it, Kiralee. So I'm not gonna tackle that today. That can wait another year before I have to refold everything. I find that I do it every like 2 to 3 years because that's when it starts looking a little bit iffy because of all the times that I pull things out. And the fabric rolls, they could be better. They could be better, but I don't think I've got the energy to try and like re-straighten them all up because it would mean that I would need to take them all out, lay them out in a high order of the rolls and then put them back, and nope, not today. But let's get this sorted and then we'll be done. Push through, Curly, push through. I just want to show you guys this. So this is the beautiful print of Toph that Sunset Dragon did up for me when we met at C2E2 earlier this year. And I'm going to put it up underneath my Red Riding Hood poster because they are two of my absolute favourite cosplays, and the friendship that I have forged with Sunset Dragon and just her support of my cosplays is seriously so amazing. Like, it gets me. So I'm gonna pop this up. I've had it sitting in the sleeve with some other prints that she gave me, like this gorgeous Donald Duck, I love it, and then two of the Eevee evolutions. I'm gonna keep those in there so that they're flat until I know what I'm going to do with them, but I want these two up because these two cosplays mean a lot to me. So essentially I've got Red Riding Hood up the top there, and then I've got these Pokemon which I got when I was at Art to Play in France. I'm going to move that down because this still is very important to me, but I'm going to put Toph underneath. And there we go! It's clean. All the patterns that I had are now in their boxes. And I actually have a little bit of countertop, which is amazing. I managed to have a little corner of like photos and whatnot. So this is an artwork that was done of me by a fellow YouTuber when I did Jigglypuff as a Rococo style. You know when you just have something that makes you laugh? This is it for me. I love Donkey or Don Quixote in Tokyo and Japan in general, and Singapore has them as well now. So jealous. Every time I see this little fella, I have the theme song stuck in my head, and it just reminds me of all the fun that I've had in Singapore and Japan. So I want to keep him in here. I might actually bring Upper in here as well and put Upper over on the fur behind the little stools. I also have a me as a TARDIS inside of a TARDIS, which was a gift given to me by a old work colleague who supported me through cosplay when I was just starting out, like was a big cheerleader for me. So that is a nice reminder of where I've come from. And then also I have here a photo of essentially my great-grandmother with her work colleagues. So this was taken in about 1918 or something along that time. She worked in a photography studio where she was colorist. So she was artistic. She couldn't sew, but because cosplay is, you know, I paint in it, I take photos, you know, with it. I like to have her energy here as well. So I've got my grandmother, obviously, with all the fabrics. There's still some of her fabrics in here, and I have her old dance costumes as well. And I've got obviously my great grandmother with her photography and colouring skills, and I've also got a little bit of my mum in here as well, because although she doesn't like sewing, she is quite good at it. So for me, it's just about having, I know it sounds weird, but I kind of like having my female line in this room a lot. I don't know if that sounds cringy, but I don't know, it just brings me joy and kind of makes me think of them. And like, I never met my great grandmother, but I heard so many stories about her, and I think if I have a guardian angel, she's my guardian angel. So that's why I wanted her in here. So yeah, that's why they have pride of place and will continue to stay there for the time being. with that, my spaces are now clean. It only took how many months? I haven't even vacuumed the floor. I really should do that as well. But for now, I've got 2 massive bin bags that need to go into the bin and a few other things that need to go into different rooms in the house. But I'm gonna end this video here. Thank you all for watching. I hope that you enjoyed watching me as I clean this room and the other room over the course of many months. But we got there in the end. But I am still quite sick and I should probably stop and lay down. Alright, thank you all for watching very, very much. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff. And I hope that if your space is messy, this has helped, you know, get you inspired to clean up that space and feel more positive moving forward. I know that this certainly helps my mental capacity for cosplaying. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!